So we are here at the beach in the Riot Money 2020 in Amsterdam, and we're talking to two lawyers because I thought that was really a lot of fun. And we have Susanne Grohe van Adderholt and we have Frank Muller, and I'm talking to them about trends in fintech and in the law system. Frank, what's hot in the fintech world at the moment?
Fintech.
Yes. What is hot in fintech?
Oh, okay. I would say crypto still, ICO still.
You say like he's completely bored. It's almost coming to an end, but it just started last year in June. That's when the first bunch of ICOs came up.
Yeah, a lot of scam happened, but I still believe that ICO is still an alternative way of financing a company if you do it properly. So I guess ICOs are still up there, crypto's there, and your turn.
My turn. Okay, I'm not so much into blockchain. No. For payments, I think it's an absolutely great technology. But for payments, I see all these ancillary industries as really, really interesting, where there are real problems. Risk is a big one. Identity. Everything.
Identity.
Yeah. Identity is.
You think that's an opportunity for blockchain?
It's an opportunity for blockchain, I think, because it could give you access. You manage your data, but it could also give a lot of people access to a kind of a centralized reservoir. Like, for instance, in India, they have. I don't think it's blockchain, but they went out to.
They have a totally centralized database, and everybody can have access to it if you pay a little bit of money. But with blockchain, you have the key, and if you mess around with the key, it's fine, but it doesn't mess around with everybody else.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't think we're going to WeChat or like what they did in India here, but we still need that because Facebook login is not a real identity.
No,
right?
But I mean, listen, we're in Europe, right? We have a national identity, and in 2019, all the governments have decided that everybody has to accept each other's digital identity. So we accept the Germans, and you accept ours identity, but also the Bulgarians, and the Romanians, and the Italians.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is there, the legal framework is there, but the technology is not consumer friendly yet, and that's the key. If you don't think consumer friendly, it's not going to happen.
And you used to work at PayPal, right? And how difficult was it for a company like PayPal to operate here in Europe?
Oh, I think it's actually they're leveraging legal work pretty well. They have a banking license, full banking license, their passport. So yeah, you need to get used to all the regulations, but once you do it, it works. And again, consumer friendly. So PayPal wasn't doing really well in Germany until they did something. They localized it. Germans don't like credit cards, but they like the direct debits. Once PayPal integrated direct debits, or Ideal in the Netherlands, it hit off. And so you need to think from the customer. Customers are not going to change. You change your company or your product. Yeah,
so these teeny local payment systems like Ideal, which does about half of the amount of transactions as PayPal, and people don't know that, but they are very important in Europe.
Well,
and in Germany, you have a bunch of other ones which are local and which are important.
Yeah, which are small because I don't think that they have hit the sweet spot for the customer.
Okay. Frank, what about PSD2?
Boring.
No.
I think it's an exciting technology, and it will liberate me from the banking systems. But as a lawyer, he thinks it's boring.
The lawyers would say, oh, well, it's access to account, you have payment initiation service, you have account initiation. So,
which means I never, ever have to talk to my bank again. I just have a nice, a nice Google interface for all my banks, and I never have to go to my local bank again in my life. That's exciting, but for a lawyer, it isn't.
Yeah, in a dream world. But I guess I don't.
It's not going to happen. Is it not? Is it not powerful enough? Are they really not going to open it up?
It's happening, but it's just the systems are so
slow.
No,
it's depressing, difficult, user unfriendly. Are they just trying to kill it?
I guess the legacy systems are. It's too many legacy systems in the banks, so it's really hard to really open up. So there's a lot of fintechs. There's a willing for the banks to open up, but the legacy systems wouldn't allow for it because it's such a struggle to open up. So I guess, yes, it helps to open up. Access to account will happen, but you still have to talk to your bank.
Okay. So you have, what's the name of your blog, of your legal blog?
It's Payment Technology Law.
Okay. And what is your what do you write about mostly? PSD2, yeah.
No. So it's fintech topics, but from a legal perspective. So we try to translate legal regulatory stuff to the normal people, so they understand what's happening in PSD2, what's happening in GDPr. So we try to
talking about a boring subject, GDPR. You know, it's already amazingly boring and an amazing amount of work. And what will it accomplish?
I don't know.
Boring or exciting?
Both, I guess. The thing is with GDPR is it doesn't work in practice. So data protection is really important, but GDPR is just over the top. So
what is your next trend?
My next trend?
Yeah. So you really think that identity is important and blockchain can be play a role in it, and the legal framework is done, but we don't have it done. But what is another trend in the fintech?
Risk and fraud management. And risk and fraud management that is so much in the back that people don't see it. You know, the problem with the PSD2 and for instance with the EBA did with strong customer authentication, it's all, again, the consumer, the customer needs to do stuff. That's not a good idea. The payment service provider should do stuff in the background. And I think that's where the initial flaw is in that regulation already. We all will have to type in pins and tons and all of that shit, but what we need to do is it should be in the back. It should be behavioral stuff, and all of that is not in the regulation. But there's a loophole which is getting the fraud rate down. So if you find really clever systems, you can get the fraud rate down, and that will be the way. So there's a lot of stuff for technology to actually win.
Two lawyers from Germany at Money 2020 who are totally excited about the new trends who are coming up.